Hola, señoritas. ¿Cómo están ustedes? How are you doing? Well, in this video, this is the second video, use number 3 of the imperfect versus the preterite. And I know last night you did the video notes, and on that first page, you had the pictures about un accidente que ocurrió ayer. Today, this video is to just make sure you understand why the imperfect is being used versus the preterite. And if you remember law tape, I'm going to go through law tape with you as I talk about the story. So here it is. There's the scene right here. Remember, nothing has happened with the accident. Notice how un accidente que ocurrió ayer is in the preterite because this accident occurred only one time, began and ended. However, it's a story. And that means that you have to have some background information. So if you look at this picture here, the accident has not occurred yet. So we're going to give some background. And as I give the answers to these, note the law tape that is being used. And so the first one is eran las siete de la noche. Now, eran is in the imperfect. It was 7 o'clock at night, and the reason why is because it's time. One of the law tape uses, time. Second one is llovía mucho, or you can say hacía mal tiempo. That'd be the answer to number 2. And this is also in the imperfect because law tape use is weather. Then we go to el carro era un Volkswagen. So now this is a description. If you look really carefully at your picture there, you'll see that right in the front of the car, you'll see the symbol for VW. I know it's really hard to see in the video, but on your sheet you may be able to see it really well. But the verb era is in the imperfect for what law tape use? And that would be the physical characteristics. We're describing what kind of car it was. Now this one is a little bit different. As I mentioned in the video, in the notes that you took in that video, I mentioned that sometimes you're going to refer to use number 2, an ongoing action. And here's one that's an ongoing action. The verb is in the imperfect, but it's not a law tape use. It's an ongoing action. So you would say, un muchacho conducía el coche. A boy was driving the car. That's just background. It's ongoing. We're going to have the interrupter in a few minutes. So I would classify that as use number 2, ongoing action. And then we talk about what the boy was wearing. Llevaba, imperfect. What law tape would that be? That would be physical characteristics. And also about the girl. What was she wearing? Llevaba, once again. There's una camisa de mangas largas would be a long sleeve shirt. Now, you could have chosen anything that they were wearing using your imagination, but the verb has to be in the imperfect because it's background information here with storytelling, and that's what you need to remember. It's storytelling. So we're setting up the scene before the accident occurred. And so that also would be physical characteristics. And then finally, the question was about how old the boy was. And so the verb would be in the imperfect because of the law tape use, which is age. And señoritas, you need to remember, in Spanish, when you ask somebody how old they were when something occurred, it's always going to be in the imperfect. Expressing age in the past will always be in the imperfect in Spanish. Like I was 5 years old, and so on and so forth. That would be in the imperfect. So now we go to the next page, and now we're going to talk about the accident. And here's the scene right here. And so you remember el muchacho conducía el carro, the boy was driving the car, or el coche. Then we had an interrupter. And what was that interrupter? Well, de repente, un gato cruzó la calle. Suddenly, a cat crossed the street. That's the interrupter. That's why that's in the preterite. And then everything else that follows. The car crashed into a light pole. The boy got out of the car. The girl stayed in the car. The car took off really fast, and so did the cat. Those were all main, or they are main actions. So the verbs will be in the preterite. So we need to remember main actions will be preterite because they express what happened, as opposed to the imperfect, which describes background, what was going on, and laute. And I hope you understand that. If you have any questions, let me know. We will be doing stories every day, one or two, one in class, one at home, little stories. And I'm going to ask you to not only write the verb in the imperfect or the preterite, but give me the use. In other words, you'll give me either a laute use or use number 2, ongoing action, if the verb is in the imperfect, or main action if you put the verb in the preterite. Entonces, muchas gracias, señoritas. Nos vemos.